problem, not a freaking bag. Shawty asked me to go where and where them churches at. Jezebel, she got that spirit, ain't fucking bag. Once I bring you out that way, you won't double back. Shawty asked me what I bang. I told Shawty that I'm a Jesus disciple. Matter of fact, his biggest sniper. I walk through the hood with my hand on the Bible, thinking the laws, preaching the word up in Cali. They thinking I'm a 49. I'm calling for ball, cause I be shooting them scripts at the devil like I'm in the final. Step on the odds. I got the devil head under my heel. I feel like Tyreek. Tell him come shout. You want salvation? That's cool. I'm knowing who got it for free. This ain't a God. They call it a KJV. Hit harder than the 223. For Christ, I'm a dog. I'm just the one that containment, the one that can keep on the leash. Problem, not a breaking bag. Shawty asked me to go where and where them churches at. Jezebel, she got that spirit, ain't flirting back. Once I bring you out that way, you won't double back. Shawty asked me what I bang. I told Shawty that I'm a Jesus disciple. Matter of fact, his biggest sniper. I walk through the hood with my hands on the Bible, thinking the laws, preaching the word up in Cali. They thinking I'm a 49. I'm calling for Paul, cause I be shooting them scripts at the devil like I'm in the fight. Step on the odds. I got the devil head under my heel. I feel like Tyreek. Tell him come shout. You want salvation? That's cool. I'm knowing who got it for free.
You guys can hear me. Mic check. I'm having some difficulties. If you guys can hear me, let me know. Here we go. Let's go. Here we are. All right. Thanks, folks. What's happening? What's good? What's happening? We back at it again. And on a week that feels mighty good. Why does it feel good? Because we got a chance to get over a huge hump. We got an opportunity to get over a new hump. That's that divisional game. That divisional game where it's just, we haven't had the best of luck since 2020. AFC Championship. Haven't sniffed it since. And that divisional has been just it's been that thing that's just been holding us back first and foremost. And by the way, I got to give a shout out to for those that do appreciate Christian hip hop. If you don't like Christian hip hop because it bugs your ears, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to touch your soul a little bit. I'm trying to touch your soul a little bit. You feel me? Anyway, back to it. The Bills are off a fresh, brand new win over the Baltimore Ravens. I got to get into something real quick. I haven't done this in a while, but I got a little something to get off my chest. I have to get off my chest at this moment, at this juncture. I think it's natural. I think it's possible. I think it's fitting. Ladies and gentlemen, ever since we were able to take down the Baltimore Ravens, and even before we took down the Baltimore Ravens, there's a lot of chatter with if the Bills were even fit enough, big enough, all that silly chatter in football, right? The big bad Ravens were about to come to town, and how were we going to handle them? And now that they've taken this L, we lost the game. Josh didn't do enough. He didn't do anything to affect this game. We killed ourselves. We were the better team. You know when you really want something really bad? You want something so bad, and it didn't come to fruition, and you don't know what, you're beside yourself? That's Ravens fans right now. The ones that are mature enough have accepted the fate. The ones that really bought into this is the year are beside themselves. They can't take it. They absolutely can't take it. The rationale that they've been coming up with is absolutely hilarious. And I'm here for it. The one that I like the best, I've been seeing this a lot. The Bills didn't do anything special for us to we're the ones that didn't do enough to get the job done, and the excuses and Josh didn't do enough. Fam, if Josh wasn't the reason y'all lost and you still did, what does that say about you deserving to even move on to the next round? It was our defense that came through and handled it. That you guys underestimated this defense. Y'all thought you could push them around like you did the first time when you ran for $199. 87 of that came off that big old run by Derrick Henry. Y'all can't piece it together, fam. Let me give you a little backstory here. We Bills fans have been doing this for some time now. I mean, at least in your history, you guys have a Super Bowl under your belt. We're still trying to get our first. We're trying to get our first. We've been in the pain. We've sat in the pain. Go back to folks that remember the 90s football Bills vividly. I can't tell you I remember it vividly. I was a young buck. But I know those that felt the pain. And then we went 18 straight years of some BS. And then we finally get our franchise quarterback. We have hope. We go to the AFC Championship. We weren't ready. And then we get bounced out and bounced out and bounced out. We understand. We understand it. But we stand in it. We stand in it. And we say, we'll get him next year. Y'all, you're still on it. I get it. The pain is unbearable. I feel you. Trust us. We know. 13 seconds still hits us deep within the core. But now we're back at it again, ready to get after it. Because we've sat in the darkness. And we asked my man Bot. My man had a whole video that's got almost 40,000 views of him really just crying his soul onto the screen. And y'all took an L and y'all can't handle it. Yo, have some maturity, Ravens fans. Have some maturity. All right? Have some maturity. And that's number one. Number two, I got to get this off my chest. All right? Some of you will understand where I'm coming from. Some of y'all are just going to listen. This goes out to the Ryan Clarks of the world and those that are like him. I ain't going to name names, but he's the loudest. You know what I'm saying? He's been the loudest. So we're going to clap back. All right? I like Ryan Clark. Let's start off with that. I like Ryan Clark. I'm a fan of Ryan Clark. Sometimes his takes are fantastic. He knows ball. I like when he gets on screen and starts breaking stuff down. I love that. But sometimes you get you poke out your chest a little too much. You know what I'm saying? Because now all it takes is I know you guys have been seeing all over the place that pop the balloon when you're trying to find a date and you don't like something you see and you're like, nah, not you. Pop. Right now, my man's chest is like this. We got the toothpick. Pop, we need to bring you down a little bit. Now, this is where some of y'all are not going to get what I'm saying, but some of y'all will definitely get what I'm saying. For cats like Ryan Clark, but Ryan Clark's the leader in all this. No, Stephen A's in that too. I like Stephen A, but Stephen A's in that. There's a few of them cats that are in that. I tried to stay away from this whole it's a black thing versus white thing. I thought it was just ball players, man. It's just ball players. Cut it out. And there are those that are a little louder. And they want so bad for the black quarterback to get to a Super Bowl. They want it. They really want it so bad. And Lamar represents a lot of these analysts that are former players, that they see a player like them that, you know what I mean? I don't know his background per se, but maybe he grew up in the struggle a little bit. And they see something they like and they want Lamar to get it so bad because of the scrutiny Lamar was getting back then. He wasn't worthy enough to be quarterback. He was a bum. You should put him receiver, all that trash. And the fact that he's got the 2 MVPs, the fact that, you know what I mean, he's so close to getting over the hump, then he loses. And then y'all want to say, hey, man, you did everything you could, man. It's not on you, bro. It's not on you. We gonna be all right, y'all. You did everything you could. It's just the circumstances. Nah, bitch, it's not just the circumstances. It's he didn't get enough done. He didn't get it done. If he had a flawless game and no turnovers, ran for 85 yards, threw for 350 yards, had 4 touchdown passes, and still lost the game, then y'all could potentially give him a little love. But hold on, Josh did something like that a few years ago, and y'all lambasted him. He still just can't get the job done. Bengals can't get the job done. Hey, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. He still can't get the job done. I don't care what he's done. We can't keep giving him all this love. All I've been hearing is about Josh this and Josh that. Did he win? No. So Lamar gets into town and all y'all, all the brothers want to, and this is y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all will know who I'm talking about and who it's going to reach. All the brothers are now saying, yo, man, Lamar did all right. He did what he's supposed to do. Hold on. Your boy lost. And I like Lamar. Your boy lost. Your boy tried to do too much. He fumbled it. Your boy overthrew Bateman because he was getting pressure from my man Edward Oliver. You know what I'm saying? Mark Andrews, the sure-handed Mark Andrews. Let me tell you something. He catches everything. 99 out of 100, he'll catch the ball. Here's the thing. When he caught that football, what are you? You thought you were Zay Flowers? You thought you were Khalil Shakir? What are you trying to go back outside and bounce outside? You're a big boy. Catch the ball, go down, or head upfield. You tried to do too much. And guess what? Pop goes the weasel. There's the football, and that's ours. When y'all try to do too much, that's the result. So put it on them. Let them know that y'all didn't do enough. I don't want to hear it. You're a two-time MVP. If Lamar was a second-year player, let alone a first-year player, you can coddle him all you want. Put the little soft gloves on and say, he was a rookie. Look what he's done as a rookie. Bruh, he's in year 8. Two-time MVP, potentially going to a third-time MVP. I don't want to hear diddly squat about handling him with kid gloves. He's a grown-ass man. And the worst part is, Lamar is harder on himself than the media is being harder on him. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? I don't get it. So my man Josh Allen he didn't really have to do a whole lot. Why? Because the game plan was solid. Y'all thought we were going to play nickel and play zone all game long, but we switched it up on y'all and played a little bit of man, 47% of man. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on? I thought I could do this. Oh, by the way, we got a spy, and his name is not Dorian Williams. We got a spy. His name is not Nicholas Moreau, and it's not Bale Inspector. Oh, you got Terrell Bernard, you got Matt Milano, you got a whole squad now. I don't want to hear no excuses about this nonsense. Yo, national media, Raven media, yo, take the L or receive the L how you want to receive it and keep it pushing. And Ryan Clark, of all people, you trying to make it yo, I see what you're doing, fam. Yo, cut it out. I like what you do, but when you do stuff like this, it turns people off. I still mess with you, but it turns people off, bro. Don't make it a Lamar this and Lamar that, and he looks like me. And here's the big one I'm gonna make, because there are media guys that do this. Dan Orlovsky got hit for it because they say, "Hey man, how come you're not as hard as some of these quarterbacks? You always take him for these quarterbacks, right? Because he's a quarterback. You get it." Well, it's because I'm trying to, and I don't remember what the excuse was, but he explained as to why he was a little softer on the quarterbacks. Nah, man, call it for what it is. If the quarterback was a bum or he played like a bum, call it for what it is. Don't try to soften and try to find the silver lining in it, in everything. But I like Dan Orlovsky. But it goes beyond this, because a lot of these players have outside ventures other than the jobs that they have. I'll speak on Clark more specifically. Clark is on ESPN, get up this, get up that, but he also has the pivot. If he is as crucial and as harsh as he is on a lot of these players, yo, you ain't gonna get these guys on the pivot. Let's keep it a buck. If you were harsh with criticism on these players, they would not come on the pivot. Let me know when Josh Allen goes on the pivot. Let me know. It ain't gonna happen. Why? Because Josh hears it. I'm going to wait. Maybe next year, maybe this offseason, Lamar Jackson will be on the pivot, right? A lot of these players have these outside ventures, so they got to play the game. You can't be too harsh, because next time you got to see these players. You're going to want to have them on the show. You want to talk about these things, right? I get it. I totally get it. Well, fam, settle. Let it play out the way it's supposed to play out. He didn't get the job done. Josh's team did. Praise what Josh did. Praise what they have done. He's moving on to the next level. Y'all been lambasting him for not getting to the next level. He does, but we're sitting here talking about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens and what they didn't do. And the last point before I get on to the rest of my ish. All right? If they do get the 2-point conversion, you left one of the best quarterbacks, one of the clutchest quarterbacks in the NFL with 1 minute and 30 seconds, give or take. What, you think you're going to kneel it and go into overtime? You already know what time it is when it comes to overtime. Josh don't want to do no overtime. I want the ball and I want to win. He's going to sound like Matt Hasselbeck. We're going to get the ball. We're going to score. And that's exactly what definitely would have happened. However, if we got that 2-point conversion, then we would have went to overtime. Hold on a second. I know better as a fan. If we ever left 30 plus seconds, 40 plus seconds for Tom Brady, it's never over. You leave 40 seconds for Joe Burrow, it's never over. Pat Mahomes is never over, ever over. Josh Allen, you thought it was a wrap? Heck no. You give Josh a minute 30, bruh, let alone a field goal, he might run it for 7. Ravens fans, Ravens media, fam, calmate. You know what I'm saying? Take the time to chill out and keep it pushing to the left. To the left, to the left. We don't care what you're going to do in the offseason because the Bills are ready to go. Listen, I'm not trying to spit, but you guys catch what I'm saying, bro. Anyways, I'm done. I needed to get that off my chest. I get sick and tired of it, but more specifically for the Ryan Clarks of the world. Y'all make me sick this week because I still mess with y'all. Good content is good content. But when you start hearing this stuff and, 8, you did good, 8, you know what I mean? You brought your team back. You put your team in the hole, 8. You put your team in the hole, 8. Like, what we talking about here? I'll never understand it. And now that I got that off my chest, I needed to get that off my chest right off the rip. It was necessary. It was absolutely necessary. So I appreciate y'all. I needed to get in there and get that off my chest. And now that I did, I feel good. I feel good. We can get to the show. And if you guys are rocking with what I just said, do me a favor, smash that like. If you're a Raven fan, if you're like, he was spitting, and if you didn't like it, smash that like either way. Get the likes going, get the people onto the show, and let's rock. And let's get this thing popping and going. And I'll be joined shortly by my guy, Carl Jones. He may have something to say. He may not have something to say. But I needed to get that off my chest. So here we are, rocking it, ready to go. And let's move on to the next. Now, before we get into Kansas City, let's put this whole Ravens thing to bed. Things I hated, things I loved, and let's keep it rolling. So let's get it cracking. Let me get my banners up, ready to go, and talk about the things that I absolutely loved in this past game, Bills-Ravens. First things first. I know this player, this person gets a lot of scrutiny, has gotten a lot of scrutiny, and rightfully so. All right? And that's Sean McDermott. We got to give some love to Shawnee McDermott because Sean McDermott had these boys prepared with a capital P. He had these boys ready to go. And what aided in all of this were some bozos from the Ravens media that they don't even claim first and foremost. But when you open your mouth, you just opened your mouth for your team to cash a check that they ain't got enough in the balance. They don't got enough in the account. And Buffalo came collecting. So my boy was like, hey, man, city of losers. Bro, even coach was fired up. Coach was like, city of losers? We're a city of winners. Feel me? He didn't like that. So coach was already fired up on his own. Josh Allen was already fired up on his own. A lot of these cats were fired up on their own. But it all stems from week 4 because they got trounced. They got embarrassed. So they needed to redeem themselves. And the good thing in this is they've had history playing against Lamar Jackson. They've had history playing against Derrick Henry. They happen to be on the same time, the same team this time. You're not about to repeat what you've done. The Bills came in, had a game plan, and coach keeps talking about it. Fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. This game, like my man Walter said, this was the McDermott game. McDermott knew what was at stake. We've been to this stage before. My reputation is on the line. I gotta take this personal. I'm going up against a coach that I know very well. I can't let these guys down. We've had a phenomenal year. We got to keep it rolling. McDermott came through and handled his business, and I love it. Him and Babbage put a great game plan together, but it wasn't just that, though. Forget about the game plan. It was just the preparation. How many times have we said Yo, McDermott got out coached. Yo, McDermott's crew got out coached. Man, the defense got ripped. Offense wasn't prepared. These boys quit. These boys came to play for McDermott. They came to play for one another, and it was great because it was at home. They came to play for Bills Mafia. So McDermott, I got to give some credit to McDermott because he came through and handled his business. Love to see it. So big shout out to my man McDermott. I think he deserves a lot of love for this game. Here's what else I love. The Bills defense. They've been the butt of a lot of jokes these last few years. And it starts with the 13-second game. I'm sorry, folks. That 13 seconds is forever going to be embedded in the Bills story until they wipe it clean and make it part of the story that shows redemption. You know what I'm saying? Everybody likes that redemption story, right? The Bills have an opportunity, to get that redemption, right? We had the 13 seconds and we thought we had it this year, and then we've gone through some lulls in between relationships, etc. They've got an opportunity to wipe that slate clean with getting that job done this weekend. But it's always been about the defense not getting the job done because we get pushed around in the trenches. We can't tackle. We're playing too passive, a whole lot of stuff. And the worst thing is we're letting Josh Allen down constantly. Everyone talks about how Bills Mafia talks about how great Josh Allen does and his playoff numbers. He's only thrown 4 interceptions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the defense is always the reason that we get Timmy sent packing the cowball, right? They make us look like how Mac Hollins came in getting into the game wearing some summer shorts with a Hawaiian shirt. Like, we're not ready to wear that just yet. But that's what this defense has had us have to endure from people. Man, I don't care what Josh Allen does, but your defense can't do nothing. So y'all don't even deserve to be here. But they flipped the script and said, you know what? Not this year. And that's a credit to McDermott, credit to new defensive coordinator Bobby Babich, credit to Sean McDermott for trusting Babich from week 1 all the way through. You've seen a difference in this defense. And you love to see it. So what I want to say is great job, defense. You contributed to 3 takeaways in this game. We were one of the best teams that take away the football. And I used to be the individual that would say, well, when we don't get turnovers, what can this defense do? You got to be able to get these 3 stops. Sometimes you can't. And sometimes you have to be opportunistic to try to take the ball away because that's what you do best. So why not lean in it? And that's exactly what they did. Interception, Taylor Rapp, fumble recovery, and force by Terrell Bernard. Damar Hamlin having one of his best games that I've seen, strip sack. And here comes Von Miller, almost taking the house, but he showed his age. He showed that he's a 35, 36-year-old man. He ain't got it like that. But the point is, the defense absolutely stepped up. The front 7 absolutely stepped up. But what I love more about what this defense was able to do today was on the weekend was the fact that they were able to be disciplined. Talk about discipline. 1 penalty, and I'd put an asterisk next to that penalty because it was the beautiful block, chopping up the hands and slapping the man's back down by Deion Dawkins that the ref was like, that technique was so good, it looked like a hold. And they call a flag, which was a big-time play. So great job from McDermott, this defense, the discipline, the gap integrity, keeping Derrick Henry to under 90 yards rushing. That is a testament to great teamwork, great preparation, and McDermott trusting Babich to put a good game plan together. Big time performance by the defense against a very difficult offense to stop. You got to stop Derrick Henry, which is already a problem on its own. And you got to stop a guy that is as best a dual threat as you'll find. He can throw the football, and he's damn sure can run the football, but we kept that brother in check with under 40 yards rushing. Great discipline, great fundamentals, and you tackled. You weren't shying away. You got in it. You stuck your nose in that thing, and you're ready to go. Salute to the defense. What I loved what the defense was able to do. Let me keep rolling because a lot of things I love. Trench work, the trench work. And I'm talking about the offensive line. I'm talking about the defensive line. Specifically, my tackles. I love what Spencer Brown. You know what? I'm not even going to go specific. The O-line was great. The O-line was fantastic. The defensive front was fantastic. Yes, I understand we gave up 254 yards, but I also understand that we kept that team to 10 points in the first half. So you knew crazy adjustments needed to be made. Crazy adjustments needed to be made by the Ravens. So yeah, we're going to give up some points. We're going to give up some yardage. But this defense all year has been a bend, but don't break defense. And I expected that very thing. And we exceeded the expectations for me. So great job. But I got to give a big shout out to Dion Dawkins. And I got to say, Dion Dawkins and Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown, my goodness, man. What an improvement he's made since a couple years ago. I was ready to call this brother like, man, I don't know if we got it in this, man. I don't know. But when he's dealing with a back issue, and now that he's fully healed and he's got that freaking 1990s neck roll, that boy a monster. And do me a favor, Spencer Brown. If you can get every last one of these guys to wear that neck roll on that line, God love you. I would love for you to do that. Every last one of them. Dion with the neck roll. You with the neck roll. Get Osiris Torrance. Get the whole line with the neck roll. Give that 90s retro look. I would love it. But those two anchors on the sideline are great. I think, who was it? Mark Schlereth was showing how we already know Dion Dawkins has a wide split. Wide split, which gives Josh Allen lanes to see. And not everybody can do what Dion Dawkins is doing. Same goes to Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown, wide split, gets back out there, athletic enough that he can get out there, long enough arms that he can stab and hold his blocks. And Josh has got the time in the world. If I want to run, I got the lanes. I got the lanes to also see where I want to put the ball. Fantastic job by the Hoggies, man. Big love to the Hoggies. A great testament to why this offense has been working is what this O-line has been able to do. So Aaron Cromer, fantastic job with what you've done with that O-line. Love that we got Aaron Cromer back on this roster, and the dividends are paying. Love to see it. Let's keep it rolling. Defensive side of the football. Bro, need I say more about what we did with Derrick Henry? Need I say more what we did with containing Lamar Jackson? The spy with athletic linebackers, that the guys that we have in the squad, that made all the difference. The tip ball by Milano on the 2-point conversion, the first 2-point conversion. If not for the awareness, the athleticism of Matt Milano, that is a conversion that would have been converted. Taron Johnson tripped and fell. If not for the hand up, bat the ball down, it's a whole different ballgame. Great job defense, man. Great job defensive front. Love to see it. Now, I got to give a major shout out to one individual on the defense. And I've been on this brother's A for a while. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this, because I've always had a little something, right? He's been one of these guys for a minute. The milk carton alert. Every time I'd say, hey guys, who do you think we should put on the milk carton alert? Ed. Ladies and gentlemen, milk carton no more. This brother was on fire. Ed Oliver. I had to write it down because I saw something that was super dope. Edward Oliver. You know what you know how I always do, right? When he plays well, when he plays like the first round draft pick that he was, when he plays like the guy that got big money on his extension, you got to call that brother by his government name, Mr. Edward Oliver. Let me tell you about this brother, man. He was absolutely disruptive. He may not have had the big time numbers and 6 sacks in the game, you know what I mean? But he was disruptive. He was moving the pocket. He was getting in there. He had a chip on his shoulder, right? Too small. We're going to push this brother around. 287. Nah, bro. He was playing like a menace. Oliver, he had 4 pressures this game. His pass rush win rate was 22.7. He made He had 3 solo tackles, 2 big defensive stops, and he had a tackle for a loss. Buddy, that's the Ed Oliver that we've been wanting. That's the Ed Oliver that we need for 2 more games. More specifically, this game coming up right this weekend. Edward Oliver. We need to keep calling you Edward so we can get that that play from you. That defensive front played extremely well. Let's not stop here. Let's not lose all our juice to the Ravens. Now we got to shift our focus. This is a whole different team. This is a whole improved team. And you're playing one of the best quarterbacks in the game that if we make mistakes, he'll make you pay for it. He will make you pay for it. And by the way, 8 straight games, the Kansas City Chiefs have not turned the ball over. They ain't turning the ball over. So that's where we got to come in and handle business. But Edward Oliver, salute. Salute to Ed Oliver, man. He was fantastic. Love to see it. And we got to keep it rolling. And long story short, at the end of the day, when you got a chip on your shoulder, man, you got to handle that chip on that shoulder. And the Bills absolutely did. They absolutely handled that well. Absolutely well. So that being said, that's what I loved. We got to get into what we hated. And give me a second. I just got to read something real quick. All right, let's go. Carl's just going to be running late, so I have to answer that question. So that text from my man. So let's keep it rolling. So as we talk about the things we loved, we got to talk about the things that we hated. We got to talk about the things that we hated. And now, I don't know about y'all. Were there things in this game that you hated? Or was it all roses? Was it all roses? Well, I'm going to tell you. I got a couple things I got to talk about. I got a couple things, right? So let's get into the things that I hated, or if it's the good, the bad, the ugly, the bad. Well, let's just talk about, we could put it all together for the things I hated. Receivers. And it's going to sound weird that I'm talking about the receivers, but I got to. The receivers. I'm looking at what we were able to do, right? Although we won the game, we almost put up 30 points. Defense was the name of the game. The defense saved us. They're the ones who stepped up and handled their business. We did our thing, but the defense was the story of the game. But more specifically, I'm looking at our receivers, right? And I like the guys we have. Love Mac Hollins, love the story, love the antics, love the barefoot, all that stuff. That's all great and dandy. Love that. But, I mean, if we've played ball before, you've watched a lot of football, you've seen some of the best quarterbacks in the game, they normally have their guy, right? When push comes to shove, it's their guy. I'd like to think that Josh Allen's guy is Khalil Shakir. And I think we can all approve and agree that that's the case. Josh Allen, Khalil Shakir, they have the chemistry. He was our leading receiver. He had the most yards. He's that dude. By the way, shout out to my man from the Philippines. Is he from the Philippines? He said, Rico, it's 10 a.m. here in the Philippines, the home of Miss Universe. Katrina Gray and land of super boxer Manny Pacquiao. My family not nervous, but anxious to enjoy seeing Haley and Josh together. My man, showing much love from the Philippines. I'll tell you right now, Filipino people are some of the best people. I don't think I've ever met a jerk of a Filipino, someone that was super mean. They're the kindest people in the world. Love the Filipinos. Loved you guys. Anyway, shout out to my man, Artemo. All right, here we go. What I hated. I'm talking about these receivers, bro. These receivers, right? I'm looking at it, right? Josh completed 16 completions. 6 of them to Khalil Shakir, 6 for 67, 11.2 yards a pop off of 7 targets. I'm good with that. He had that long reception of 34 yards down the middle. Love it. James Cook, 3 receptions. That's your running back. On top of receivers. Mac Hollins, Dalton Kincaid, Curtis Samuel. 1 for Mac, 1 for Dalton, which we'll talk on that. 2 for Curtis Samuel. You got 1 from Keon and 1 from Dawson. That's 7 receptions, not named Khalil Shakir. Furthermore, you got a guy you traded for in Amari Cooper that hasn't done diddly squat on this offense. And I get it's not all about the numbers. It's about what he's able to, how he's able to manipulate defenses. And that's why my guy, Carl Jones, can attest. He can talk to me about it. He can give me another angle because I'm not seeing it. And Rico, shut up. Our offense is putting 30 points a game. Who cares if everybody eats? I get it. But this is the playoffs. This is the AFC Championship game. And I get it. You don't want to change your routine. But when push comes to shove, I need someone to get open if they get McDuffie on Khalil Shakir. McDuffie absolutely eliminated Nico Collins. McDuffie's that dude. That boy can play. So if they put Trent McDuffie on Khalil Shakir, who's stepping up? And that's a big problem for me. I have a big problem with that. Now you got Chris Jones barreling down. I trust the O-line, so I know the O-line's going to handle it. But one of y'all got to do something because this ain't going to work. Spags is a great defensive coordinator. They have our numbers. We're 0-3 versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Somebody got to get open. More specifically, Amari Cooper. What's up? I don't get it. Is this brother hurt? Is it lack of chemistry? Or did he lose a step or two? I need to bring my guy Carl Jones to help me settle this. Let me know when you're ready to go. You ready to go? I need someone to talk to me. Carl Jones, talk to me now.
What you talking? You talking about Amari Cooper and
yeah, you know damn well what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Amari Cooper. I brought this up last week. I thought, you know what? Playoffs is, you know what I mean? We're going against the Ravens. Someone's going to step up. He's going to be that guy. No, sir. We're still looking at the same thing. So talk to me now. Trent McDuffie, real deal. Trent McDuffie's the real deal. He's a great corner. Yep. They had that boy locking down Nico Collins. Nico Collins, I think, had 2 receptions last game.
Mm-hmm.
If they put Trent McDuffie on Khalil Shakir, which is our best receiver, could you see the Bills struggling to move the ball around, especially with a Spags-led defense? Or is this not the same Kansas City Chiefs team? We don't got to worry about it. They're middle of the pack defense. Like, what do we talk about here? I need your perspective. Maybe I'm tripping, but now I've seen the pattern. It's been almost 7 games now where Amari Cooper has not been a factor.
Right. You threw a lot at me right there. I'm gonna start with that.
I know I did. I was fired up. I got a whole lot off my chest today, so you know what I mean? I'm feeling it. Talk to me.
So the Amari Cooper point I think is a valid one. I mean, he ran 10 routes and had 1 target. The fact that you only ran 10 routes is his own type of thing, considering Josh threw 22 passes. So you're like, he's not even on the field for a lot of these situations. So I think that kind of speaks to their comfort / lack thereof in his ability to go out there and win, especially against a Baltimore defense where the strength of their team was right up the middle. We talked about this, but the glaring weakness was on the outside up against Trey White and Brandon Stevens. And then it was snowing, so the footing wasn't as great. So you can say what you want about the route that he didn't win on, but regardless, when you go out and get a guy on the trade market, you expect him to be that guy, regardless if you thought he was prime Amari Cooper or not. The fact that he's not utilizing that way is a little concerning going forward, especially out of, let's say, the 4 playoff potential games that they could play. The Broncos have pretty good outside corners. The Chiefs will 100% will, and if it's the Eagles, they will as well. The Ravens were the one team where that was a glaring weakness. So if you expect Amari Cooper to go off, it will be against those guys. So I think that was a little concerning. In terms of how the Chiefs will approach it, it's kind of hard to tell because the first matchup, Khalil Shakir did not get followed by Trent McDuffie. He did not spend any time following him around the field. But I think some of that is due to the fact that the Chiefs were down their starting cornerback, so they didn't want to have Trent McDuffie following one player, considering that they had a glaring hole with number 13, Najee Johnson. And as if you guys can remember at home, the 2 Amari Cooper catches in that Chief game were against their 4th-string cornerback, who won't play in this game. So I do think it'll be, on paper, another situation where he's going to have to win and be a guy who becomes a player, because it isn't the same Chiefs defense. Now, I haven't said that it's not the same Bills offense either. Dalton Kincaid was going to play, so was Spencer Brown, and so was Keon Coleman. Having said all of that, though, I think anyone who says they aren't a little bit concerned in his production, even they're lying a little bit.
And that's my thing. And I'm okay with if he's not part of the game plan or he's a decoy, whatever you want to call it. But like you said, 10 routes. 1 target. So I'm thinking, okay, so clearly there's a disconnect, or they're just not seeing it. Maybe Josh doesn't look his way too long enough. Maybe his route running is not as what it used to be. I don't know what it is. The fact that they've moved away from him and they're getting guys other touches is glaring to me. So that is something I'll look forward to. But I look at the last game that these guys were playing. I mean, what did he have that game? 2 receptions?
The two deep balls against Najee Johnson. Yep.
Absolutely. The 2 deep balls. And that was it. So I need to see a lot more from these boys, especially because I know what Spags is going to do.
Right.
Their best corner is McDuffie. Who's been the stick mover? Khalil Shakir. Mm-hmm. He ain't moving the sticks. Chris Jones, be a menace. We're going to stop that run, right? And force these boys to throw it up. And who is he going to throw to? Because none of these boys are going to get the separation we need them to get. Because if you take down Khalil Shakir, which is your best guy that separates, our problem to begin with was guys couldn't separate. That was the biggest problem. So if you take away Khalil Shakir, we're back to square one. And that's my beef. So I'm hoping that Joe Brady comes in and fixes things, and he finds ways to find the mismatches of getting Keon Coleman available. Some of y'all, we got to get it going. But I get it. Some people are going to be, yo, man, you nitpicking. Nah, I don't. I truly don't believe I am, because if I'm a defense, and that's the way I'm thinking, yo, we're going to take away Josh's favorite guy. I know he loves to go at everybody, but self-consciously, you always want to look for your favorite guy. But if your favorite guy's not there, now you're under duress, right? So now we're about to find out what's really good. So I'm skeptical to see how it's going to play out. I still feel confident about this game, but I'm still skeptical. So I've had a few things to say. I got some questions I got to ask you, and I want your true thoughts on it. By the way, shout out to Ohio. Shout out. That was too easy, bro.
Hey, man, let me get 30 seconds off my chest real quick.
Go ahead. Get your
my
rocks up.
State, we lit. Shout out to Ohio. All y'all got to bow down to us. We kings for the next 365, first and foremost. Shout out to us. And for all you Notre Dame fans in the chat, sorry, not sorry. Y'all ain't won nothing since 1988. Ronald Reagan was still president. That's crazy if you think about it. Like, if you're a Notre Dame fan in the chat right now, say that out loud. Y'all ain't won nothing since Ronald Reagan was running stuff. That's crazy. Ohio State got 3 of them puppies since I've been alive. I'm 26, my boy. Say all that to say, we ain't worried about second-class teams and programs like Notre Dame. Y'all worried about looking pretty with y'all gold helmets. We worried about winning championships, chips, plural. Throw 3 S's on the bad end of that thing. Regardless, man, OHIO, Buckeyes. To y'all golden domers in the chat, sorry, not sorry. Back to Bills Chiefs. I'm sorry.
There you go. Let me give you that. I gotta give you that one. So my man Cook. I gotta say this though. It's wild to me, right? Most cats, I'm not putting you on blast because I've seen it from other players, but most cats usually when they're, you know what I mean, they're all for it. They usually went to that school. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I mean, you went to Syracuse.
So let me explain myself to the people in the chat. I was born and raised in this state and was a diehard growing up. But then I had smoke with them boys. They ain't offered me a scholarship. So I had real beef with Ohio State from like age 16 to like 23. But then
you came home.
And then I came home. You feel me? Listen, we know where loyalty lies at. You see the helmet behind me. All right.
I see you.
But like, you feel me? Like, it's like my side chick. Ohio State, that's a side piece. And I love her. I love her. She was lost for a little bit, but she back.
She's always gonna have a piece in your heart. I got you. I got you. All right. So let me. I want your thoughts on these things, right? We're gonna get into the Bills game as much as we can, but I want your thoughts, man. For someone that is in media now.
Yeah.
All right. Game is over. Accountability. Lamar Jackson took full accountability for his play. He didn't like it. He said it sucks. He doesn't know what to say, but he took full accountability. Yo, I gotta be better, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But some national media are handling this brother with kid gloves, I feel. His situation, right? He did good. He was all right. What are your thoughts when you see that type of coddling happening to a 2-time MVP, an all-pro player, and then you got Josh was the victor, and no, but we're going to focus on the loser. But reverse the roles. Actually, just go back to last year and the year before that, that brother gets lambasted. Any thoughts on how you see the differences on how this media is treating and treating Josh and treating Lamar, how this whole thing's playing out?
Yeah, I think it's not consistent with one player because I know Bills fans don't want to hear this, but the 13 seconds game, everybody outside of Western New York gave Josh Allen his flowers for that performance. No one blamed him from that. And I know Lamar didn't play half as good as Josh did in that game. Like he didn't touch that. But when you want to talk about Sunday, he played well, but unfortunately in the postseason, your mistakes are magnified, and he had two terrible ones and inexcusable. It can't happen. In terms of the coddling, for me personally, I don't look at games through that lens. You know me,
Okay.
I look at games through the totality of it.
All
But for
right,
the
all
other
right.
people, I can't speak for them, but I do think it's kind of he don't need a blanket to help him out. He a grown man, he can handle it
Thank
himself.
you.
But personally, I didn't look at the game through Lamar failed, Mark Andrews failed. I just looked at it as Bills did these type of things to be successful. Ravens did this, X, Y, and Z didn't. That's how my weird brain is wired. But like for those, that my first instinct when you told me that is Lamar a grown man. He don't need nobody to find no binky or a blanket to help him out, man. He gonna take his L's on the because here's the thing, he gonna take his L on the chin, and then in a month if he gets his MVP, he'll win his third MVP, and that's that. So he don't need nobody to be calling him.
And I totally agree. And that's the biggest thing. I said he's grown. He's grown. You don't got to do all that, man. Talk about what the next matchup's going to be. Kansas City, you know what I'm saying, and Buffalo.
Yeah.
That's what y'all need to focus on. And this is a rematch, and this is et cetera. There's a whole lot of stuff. Bro, give that man his flowers, cool, but keep it at that. You play well, but you didn't play well enough. But
Correct.
I feel like they weren't magnetizing what the errors were. More so, he almost got it, man. He got his team right back in it. No, but he put his team in the hole to begin with. So he had to get them to climb out of that hole. Anyway,
but also not to cut you off real quick.
Yeah.
But also we have like the last thing that you saw type of thing. And Mark Andrews had two crucial mistakes in the fourth quarter. If it was reversed and Lamar had his mistakes in the fourth quarter, I think the narrative would have been a little bit different.
It is, man. Listen, Josh put the money on the ball for Diggs. Diggs dropped it. I get it. I trust me. I get it because he heard it. Diggs was hearing it, especially when he left the squad. They say, "Yo, remember you? Is this you? This you, right?" Yo, Bills Mafia was relentless on that, brother. But anyway, wanted to get that out the way. Now, quickly, what did you love in this game? 3 things, 4 things. What are the things that stood out to you that you loved in this game, and then things that you hated?
Actually just wrapped up my own little breakdown with Thad Brown from Rochester on this. 2 things that can come off the top of my head. One was the game plan / ideology that the Bills offense brought to the table. The bullies got bullied. You know, the Baltimore Ravens, rightfully so, pride themselves on being a big physical group that can stop the run. And the Bills, quite frankly, in the 2024 season, feel as if they're the same exact way, with 6 offensive linemen on 22% of their snaps. And although in the second half they weren't able to kind of impose their will, they bought themselves enough time for the first 30 minutes for the last 30 to not matter. They got that far ahead in the race where it didn't matter what happened in the second half, right?
Yeah.
And then in the second half, on the defensive side of the ball, I kind of equated it to a boxing analogy, right? Where the Baltimore Ravens were this boxer where they can throw haymakers, hooks, uppercuts, and they're the best of the best at it. No one wants to take a punch from them. But they got a little bit of a glass jaw, a little bit, right? So if you're the Bills defense, the Bills couldn't match up with them on paper. They just couldn't. This matchup-wise, it wasn't good enough for them to do it. So if you're the Bills defense, let's turn this variance up a little bit. Let's blitz more than we ever have since 2021. Let's play more and more in coverage than we have all season long. And that's the case, we're going to throw haymakers right back at you. You're going to hit us, for sure. We're going to get knocked down a few times. But we think your jaw glass enough. You think your jaw ain't tough enough to where we can bark at you enough. And now we turn this into a decision at the end instead of this being a knockout or TKO, however the case may be, however you guys want to score it boxing-wise. All in all, I love both of those strategies. Hey, on offense, bullies got bullied. On defense, you know what? On paper, you're right. This maybe not be a good matchup. But let's turn up the variance a little bit. Let's turn up the up and down plays. Because if you I've been in those rooms where players get graded. The Bills defensive players probably didn't get graded high. Like there were a bunch of bad plays. But all you need is like 3, 4, 5 to go in your favor.
Yup.
And that's how it works in the postseason.
I like it. All right, listen, I haven't done this in a while. I'm going to put you on the spot. Are you ready?
Yep.
So I used to do a segment called 2 Thoughts or 2 Words
Yep.
with a guest that I had on. And I don't see you as a guest, man. You a friend of the show. So
yeah, man, you come family of the show. Family of the show.
That's it, baby. That's it, baby. So I'm gonna put a word out there, a player out there, and you just give me 2 words or 2 thoughts that come to your mind. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, we're here with my man Carl Jones, and we're about to play 2 words or 2 thoughts with my guy Carl. And away we go. I'm gonna lob you one, and then you could do what you want with it. All right, James Cook.
Steady Eddie.
Steady Eddie. I love it. Here we go. Sean McDermott.
I'm giving you 3 words.
I love your thoughts. I'd love your thoughts on Sean McDermott instead of 2 words. I love your thoughts on Sean McDermott's performance in this past game.
Proving doubters wrong and proving his doubters wrong and adapting when necessary.
I like that. Because I felt that this was, some folks want to call it the Sean McDermott game. It just felt like he had control. Correct. And he had his boys ready. Like this is the most I've seen this team prepare for a squad that most folks were like, yo, I don't know if these Bills can take these Ravens, because this is a tough matchup, especially the way the first matchup went down. Sean McDermott answered the bell. So I love seeing it. Here we go. DeMar Hamlin.
What a story.
What is it? Listen, man. Yo, I think that was DeMar Hamlin's best game. The best game I've ever think I've seen him play.
Yeah. I mean, he had some mishaps, like the deep ball to Rashad Bateman that Rasul tackled at the 1. That was all DeMar. But once again, when you turn the variance up, if I get enough good plays in my favor, no one gives a damn about the bad ones I made.
Right. And that's facts. That's facts. I felt like he was fearless. And forget about the strip sack, right? Yeah. It was more so him sticking his head in and getting in scrum and going after my man Derrick Henry. I felt like this was his best game, especially because I felt like I've been a little hard on DeMar, because I'm like, DeMar, I don't know about DeMar. Yo, he proved me like, yo, I belong on this defense, and I feel like I'm figuring my way out. And the confidence is an all-time high. I'd love to see it. Von Miller.
When is the closing act coming?
I like that, though. You clever with that one.
They brought him in to be the closer. Where I'm trying to see when the closing act coming. When is it?
All right, listen, I like that. All right, Ed Oliver.
This might be an inside joke with the media, but Kobe Bryant. Before the game, I don't know if you heard that he said that Lamar Jackson is the football equivalent of Kobe Bryant, and you got to treat him as such, where he gonna make some difficult shots. But if you turn up the pressure a little bit, he can also have some turnovers and miss some shots too. So maybe Ed Oliver didn't have that type of impact on the game.
Okay.
But when I watch the game back, I just think of Kobe Bryant and what Ed Oliver said.
I got you. Let's go Matt Milano.
Getting better.
Listen.
Getting better.
Listen, I like that. All right, last but not least, give it to me. O-line.
I got 10,000 words for you, but I'm gonna settle with 3 letters.
Let's go.
MVP.
Hey.
I mean, listen.
Yo,
I mean,
that O-line has been the difference in this Bills season this year. They've given lanes. They've given Josh time. They're a little nasty. They're cognitive. They're smart. They're moving in unison. Bro, their feet, they're clean. Like, one penalty, and the one penalty that you got was not even a penalty to begin with. Golly, the O-line has been fantastic. I know I've seen these quarterbacks be getting their O-line Rolexes, a vehicle here, duffel bag there, Beats by Dre here. I don't know. What does Josh get this O-line group? Because they deserve whatever the heck is coming their way.
You need to give them property or land or something like that.
Golly,
I do want to say this too about the O-line and give them more of their flowers. And I know Bills fans and Bills players rightfully so should feel somewhat jaded or disrespected that they didn't get the season-long awards, All-Pro and Pro Bowl, right?
Right.
But I'll say this about those guys up front. I don't know if there's a tackle duo in football that you can definitively say is much better than them. And the only one that I can think of that you can even hold a candle to them is what they got going on in Philadelphia with Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. Technically, both of them were the first team All-Pros this year. So you know what? Give it to them. Outside of them two, though, I don't know if there's another team in football. So then so if you're a Bills fan, bump what anyone else got to say. I promise you, those two bookends that you have on at left and right tackle, no one else in football messing with them outside of what they got going on in Philadelphia. And you don't need some national writer to tell you that. You got, I've seen it all year. Trust what you see.
The beautiful thing is you got Spencer Brown under contract. You got Dion under contract. You got McGovern under contract. Torrance under contract. Rookie. David Edwards he's got a small little contract, but that's a good group that's going to be together for a little bit. Yep. And then you got Cedric Van Pan Granger, and you got Alec Anderson and Ryan Van. Watch out. Listen, I appreciate you playing that game with me. Haven't done it in a long time. Had to exercise your brain a little bit. You feel me? So we got to get to it. So Ravens game done with. I don't know if you have any last thoughts on the Ravens game because I'm over it. This is the last stream on them. And it's over with. Anything to touch on them?
No, just very impressive by both coordinators.
I would absolutely agree. So let's move on to Kansas freaking City. Listen, what are the storylines going to be this week? Like, what would you say a storyline is going to be for this Kansas City Bills game? Like, there's so much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes. Josh Allen and the Bills are 0-3 versus Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, right? That Spags defense gives issues. Talk to me. What are you thinking?
Man, there's a bunch. You can say Josh Allen and I hate, me, I hate pinning one player and just saying he is all on him. But can Josh Allen clear the mountaintop of that? Is Patrick Mahomes. Only Joe Burrow has done that. Can he join him, put himself next to Joe Burrow and take him down Patty in the playoffs in this exact game, actually? Can Sean McDermott prove that he can get past them as well? On the Chiefs side, can Patrick Mahomes continue his ascension to put himself in mortality in terms of a three-peat? Like, hey, no one's done that. Can you put him next to that in that conversation, rarefied air? There's so many great storylines. Steve Spagnuolo, can he continue to chisel up his bust in the Canton Hall of Fame and put together another great storyline? I think the biggest one, we just touched on it. Can the Bills offensive line once again test somebody's gangster and test somebody's jaw? They did it the first two games against two really good fronts.
Two of the best defenses.
And the Chiefs are going to bring together, although on paper it may not be great, but they've had so many switching parts. I really wouldn't trust the paper. That's a good defense.
Agreed.
So can the offensive line do that again? And then on the other side, the defensive line has turned it up a notch in the postseason. It's not like stellar by any means. They aren't like the 2019 49ers or nothing like that, but like they're good enough. Can they do it another game? There's so many great storylines and so many things that we can look at. It would take 24 hours to get through them all, but there's some exciting ones.
Who's got more pressure on them, Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes? Josh Allen to bring his team to the Super Bowl, something they haven't done since 1993-94 season. It's been a long time. I don't think. What year were you born?
98.
Hey, before.
yeah, exactly.
My man said, yo. Yeah, 98.
Yeah, 98. Yeah, 98.
So before my man was even born, these boys haven't sniffed the playoffs, bro. Yeah. So does Josh Allen have more pressure on him? The city of Buffalo's like, one more, Josh. The whole city's behind you, bro. Get us there. Or Pat Mahomes on, yo, I'm trying to do history. I'm trying to get history. I want this. We went 15-1, and you suckers are the ones that got a 15-2, excuse me. What? But you guys gave us that one loss that really put a blemish on this whole thing. Because if we didn't lose to the Bills, we would have probably went for that win in the last game. You never know.
Right.
But they're trying to win it. Who's got more pressure? And this goes to the chat. Knowing what you know, where Josh and the Bills Mafia is and where Kansas City and what they're trying to do, become a dynasty and all that good stuff, who's got more pressure?
I think in terms of the narratives and legacy, I think that it's Josh Allen in terms of the narratives and legacy, in terms of Can you finally climb the mountaintop? This is a Kansas City team that's looked as wounded as it has since you've been on your run. This is a Kansas City team that, although they've only lost one game, I'm not counting the scrimmage game, can you knock them down? This is the best offense that the Bills have had in the Josh Allen era. Like, I know that people are going to point to the statistics and say, oh, he doesn't have as many passing yards, but they're more balanced than they've ever been. A more seasoned Sean McDermott than he's ever been. A offensive coordinator in Joe Brady that can go blow for blow with any offensive coordinator that they've had in the Josh Allen era. So it sets up right.
Yeah.
But on the field, I think it's clearly Patrick Mahomes, considering that he has the significantly worse supporting cast, because the offensive line just is okay. I'm going to be respectful here. It's okay. Josh Allen has an objectively top 3, top 4. We've seen Josh Allen win 2 playoff games by not having to be Superman. He can be Clark Kent. The Chiefs have zero path in this game if Patrick Mahomes isn't Superman, because they don't have a great running game. The offensive line isn't spectacular, right? They got past the Houston team because the Texans their offense is what it is at this point. So I think if you're looking for narratives, I think it's clearly Josh. But if you look at pressure to actually play well, it's clearly Pat. And I think that's what makes Sunday so fun.
You are absolutely right. And I'm looking at the line for this game. Have you seen the lines yet?
Is it 2? Is it Chiefs 2?
Let me just take a quick look, because I know Chiefs are -2. -2. All right. That's the spread right now. Well, I don't know if you're a betting man or not. I'm not a betting man, but do you think the line changes?
Yeah, I'm a betting man. What'd you say?
You think the line changes, or it's going to remain as a move up, as a move down, closer we get to the game?
No, because you got to think, if you're a casual fan, the casual fan is going to bet on the guy who's been there before. It's kind of like the line of thinking you never bet against Tom Brady. So like that casual fan, regardless of what's happened on the field, is going to rock with the GOAT, Tom Brady, Jordan, LeBron, that type of thinking.
I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to chop with you later this week, obviously on a pod, right? Because I know you're a busy man. Is this favoring the Bills, or is it favoring, forget about the line,
right?
Knowing what you know, knowing what the media's talking about, knowing that, you know what I mean, these two teams are coming in as the best that they can be, their best versions of themselves. Is this which team's favorite in this one?
Ooh, I think that's a fun one. I think offensively, and I know technically the Bills' offense doesn't play against the Chiefs' offense, but when you just stack the 2 offenses side by side, the Bills have more pathways to win. They can run the ball with anyone, and they can pass the ball if it presents themselves to do that as well. So I think that's first and foremost. And Real King, hey, you saw how the Bills felt about doubt after the game, so maybe that can help them out a little bit, right? Defensively, I would favor what KC has going on, because they can play more styles, and they also have probably the second greatest defensive coordinator to ever breathe. So I think that they may have it in that leg. Also, you got to think about the fact that they're at home. I hate pulling like the Switzerland card here. I hate pulling the Switzerland card, because we also don't know the health of the Bills and Christian Benford and Taylor Rapp. In particular. But usually this time of year you lean with the offense, so you would probably lean Bills. But what makes this game unique is that they're kind of similar, but the Bills just have a higher ceiling, if that makes sense. And I don't mean to disrespect what the Chiefs are, because the Chiefs are the standard right now, right?
Right.
But neither team turns the ball over. Both teams try to get downhill in how they run the ball. They try to be bullies at times, right? The difference is the Bills just have more variety on the outside to make that shake in that regard. Having said that, though, when Hollywood last week didn't count because the Texans have 2 really darn good outside corners, but Hollywood Brown has been looking good. Xavier Worthy has taken the same exact leap that Rashee Rice did last year.
Yeah.
And then we'll see if this Travis Kelce turn back the clock thing is real, because last week it looked real. So I'm conflicted. It's Tuesday. I need to dive in,
Yeah, I know. It's early.
Drink some wine. You feel me? Get my mind right.
I got you.
But it's a lot.
Red wine or white wine?
Red wine.
Red wine, huh? You bougie like that?
Bro, I'm bougie.
You bougie bitch. You want the red wine?
Unapologetically bougie. Capital B.
Like it. I'm a white wine guy. Give me some white wine, man. Cool. Chill that glass of wine for me, and we good. All right. Last but not least, I'm gonna let you go because I know you had a lot to do with your man's Fab Brown. Looking ahead and looking at what these Bills have ahead of them, and you kind of are around the team.
Right.
What's the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Bills fans need to know. Like, we're not around them. What's the atmosphere like? Is there like a bold confidence? Is there a silence in the building? Is it rah-rah? Everybody's playing around? Like, what is it?
Yeah, so I'm gonna unpack that as best as I can because I think it's a great question.
All right.
I'm gonna start with the Chiefs aspect of this because we haven't seen them this week. First time we will see them is tomorrow. But all off season, I kind of felt that while some people were a little uneasy about the fact that so many core veterans and leaders left, I kind of thought that wasn't the worst thing because that scar tissue is now gone. It's hard every single time that you play a team, see someone, if you're a fighter, if you're a team, and you keep looking to your left and right and it's the same damn person, psychologically, you're going to say, what's going to be different? You next to me again, we're playing the same damn people. How is this any different? And this is not to say that those players were the reason that they came up short. I am not saying that. But psychologically, when you have fresh blood and new blood, some of that scar tissue is gone. Some of that doubt is gone, right? Where you got some new freshness to you. We got some young, hungry pups with it. I'm just telling you that's what your mind is telling you, right?
Right.
So I think that is important, and you could possibly see that Sunday. But in terms of just like the entire run and what we've seen the past few months or so, they're not as tight as they used to be. There's certain players who've always been loose. Deion Dawkins wearing goggles to a press conference. He's always been that dude.
He's always been that dude.
But the players have said it ad nauseum the past month or so, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention it. Sean McDermott is just more relaxed than he's ever been. And that's contagious and that's infectious. Not to equate it to war or to anything else, but it ain't no different than when your general and your sergeant, when they're a little bit more relaxed, it's contagious and it bleeds down to his troops. They take on the personality of the head man in charge. So when you already have a guy like Josh Allen who's relaxed and goofy and loose, and then Sean McDermott he's not Drill Sergeant McDermott no more, as the running joke used to be for all those years.
Right.
If he can dial it back a little bit as well and allow guys to be more comfortable in themselves, you've seen that in the building where you wouldn't necessarily know a playoff game's on the horizon. And I think that's what makes this team a little bit more different than what I've seen in the past. And I'm not guaranteeing that saying this guarantees a win by any means, but that is what's different. The guys are just looser, cracking jokes, locker room. They was playing some 90s R&B the other day. I was in their vibe. Like, it was just
different vibe.
Good vibes all around. And it's a team that really is having fun right now, which I think is cool to say.
Which is great because you want to be a quiet confidence, but you want to have these guys ready to go. Now, Matt Milano's back. Bernard is doing his thing, right? Yeah. Dorian Williams gets in there. He had a great play, by the way. It's underrated, but he had a great play on the goal line. Yeah, where he came in and he loved Dorian Williams. But anyway, I bring all this up. What I'm about to bring up is this. Your defensive assistant coach, right? Your defensive coordinator assistant. Yeah. Bobby Babbage is like, bro, I don't know what I'm gonna do, bro. Help me out. How do we stop KC defensively? What do we do to stop KC? How would you match up with who do you match who with? You playing a little bit of mo? Are you playing a bit of zone? Are you playing a little? I mean, this is, and I'm putting you on the spot heavily because you're not in the locker room. You don't know what's going on, but you played the game. You know what Kansas City can be like. Yeah. Do you have a way that you play this team, or is just do what you did against the Ravens? Play fundamental ball. Obviously, you got to treat them a little different, but play fundamental ball and let's go at it. Or do you come up with a different game plan? Do you double case Travis Kelce and don't let him get available? Are you bracketing? How are you playing this? And this is a charged up question, by the way. So
yeah, if I'm the devil on Bobby Babbage's shoulder for this week, I think you crank up the man coverage again. I think you tell, and I know the old adage has been you play man coverage because you think the quarterback sucks. That's can be the furthest thing from the truth because the Bills offense sees more man coverage than anyone by a long shot, and clearly Josh Allen don't suck. But I think the reason why the way you play after them in that regard, you force the Chiefs to tell you that Hollywood Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Xavier Worthy are that much better than you. You got to show me. And I think those players can make plays. They have. They did the whole month of December. But you're going to have to show me, because this is another game where I think the Bills turn up that variance a little bit. We're going to play a little bit more man coverage. We're going to make this a little bit more Jekyll and Hyde. We're going to force Patrick Mahomes to be right every single play. And that's the way you're going to have to do it. Because if you live in this world where you say we're going to drop back in zone coverage, Patrick Mahomes has seen every single zone coverage that's ever been known to man. You're going to have to win with 4. You're going to try to have to do that. We'll see if that works or not, because the Chiefs have changed their left side of their offensive line. Joe Tooney.
You got Tooney playing left tackle? What?
Correct. Now, the one downside for that is that the left guard spot isn't as straight.
Absolutely.
It's strong. So if you're Daquan Jones or Ed Oliver, you need to win there. So if I'm a DC, I'm saying, hey, crank up the man. Let's play man like 40% of snaps and just dare Patrick Mahomes to be accurate time in and time out. Because quite frankly, I don't know if the Chiefs can win that way. But it's Patrick Mahomes. Like, he can make shit shake. He's done it.
No doubt.
But if we're going to – but the way I've always been wired, and this is why I couldn't be a coach, because I would just always have faith in my men, we're going to go down swinging. We're going to go down throwing haymakers. I refuse to be go down with jabs. So you know what? Let's go down, put paws on Xavier Worthy's chest, and let's play ball that way. Let's put pause. And listen, if we miss, we miss. But you know what? I went down swinging. I refuse to go out like some chump. But that's also why I'm not a coach, because I would say that to my players too, and we might lose by 50%.
And then you'd be out as first year DC.
Hey, but I made some good money though.
Change your mind, son.
But I stole like 6 figures, so like who
there
really
you go?
Like,
you out of here. Appreciate you, fellas. Last couple questions today. I'm gonna let you get out of here. Cole Bishop, and I know you've been watching the film.
Yeah.
Taylor Rapp being out or nursing the injury. Maybe we get him back. He could just be a bruised hip. I don't know what's going on. We'll see if he warms himself up enough. Did you see enough good things from Cole Bishop on film that you trust him in the lineup to go up against the savvy veteran in Travis Kelce, or do you keep it funky and Taylor Rapp's ready to go back in? You want an experienced, a guy that knows his team. What do you do with that? You know Cole Bishop's going to get he's going to get some time, but do you have more lineups where you have Cole going up against a guy like Travis Kelce because he's got the size, he's got the speed? Why not? What's your thoughts?
If Taylor Rapp is healthy, 2-4, you are plastered to the bench, respectfully.
Gotcha.
Respectfully. Because TB and Cam Lewis have done a good enough job on 87 the past year and a half to where I think we have confidence in those guys.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is our time with my guy, Carl Jones. I got my Arrowhead Nation goes, our backup OG is quality, though. That's why he's in. Remember, giving worth to KC.
He is good. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying, like, he wasn't a starter for a reason.
Because Tooney's solid.
Tooney's an all-pro. Like,
that's right.
Let's keep it Gucci here for a second. Like, the left tackle that they had wasn't even active for the Texans game. That was the quality of player that he was rolling out. Right. It's gonna be fun, man. I can't wait. And I mean, I'm not a Bills fan here, so I get my blood pressure not as high. But for y'all, everybody in the chat, man, like I'm excited for y'all.
Fam, I mean, listen, you should have saw the picture of me and Z-Bot when we were sitting here trying to figure our lives out, and it was stressful. It was stressful. So, ladies and gentlemen, Carl Jones, listen, what do you got going on this week, brother? Because the people need to know. By the way, go ahead and follow my guy, Carl Jones. You can see his socials right here. Carl Jones at Jones11 underscore. 11 underscore. So check it out. What you got? What's going on? What's on the docket?
Yeah, so we've been talking about it a little bit. I'm gonna definitely pull out some clips from that first Chiefs game and say, hey, you know what? This is where maybe the Bills can get at them a little bit. This is when maybe will look different in round 2. So be on the lookout for some of them clips. Always, every single week, I sit down with a Bills player and just ask him 5 random questions so y'all get to know him about off the field, you know.
Right.
This week, we still trying to figure that out, who it is. Anybody but Josh. Josh, big time. If anybody in the chat knows Josh Allen, let me know. Hold on.
So when it comes to players, do you do the requesting, or did you say, yeah, this is the only person that's available?
No, I request.
So have you requested Josh yet?
There's no point. Josh is the busiest man on the planet. You got to think about how many national people trying to get their paws on 17 every single week. Like,
So other than Josh, is he obviously he's the most coveted?
he's the only one that I will not talk to. Everyone else, is fair game.
When he walks in the building, he doesn't walk like he's stush, like he's he seems like he's down to earth. He talk to everybody.
Yeah, he a little kid like everybody else. He a little kid. Like, I'm not even like he joke, crack jokes.
I met the brother, and he's legit, like low key. He don't.
Yeah,
that's what makes him so damn good.
That's why everyone love him. That's why everybody love him.
Facts. Who's the next coveted guy on the Bills that I don't even bother because he's always somebody wants to talk to this guy all the time.
It used to be Diggs, and it's not because everyone used to talk to him. It's just that Diggs was so big time that just didn't know what type of Diggs he was getting that day. I love him though. Love being. There's no knock on Diggs. You ain't gonna hear.
So everybody's fair game other than
John. Like, I know Von Miller is probably the second biggest name, but like, if Von Miller was like having more of a crazy impact, I would pull up on Von and be like, "Hey, bro, let me sit down," like whatever.
All right.
So
I mean, shoot. Who y'all want? Von?
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, let him know. Hit him up right now. Listen. Put the person that you think that will be a person of interest that can sit down with my man Carl Jones, and Carl Jones can ask him what kind of wings he likes. Is it ranch? Or is it
like the question that I love the most, because it really tell you about somebody. Who would you trust? Who would you least trust to babysit your kid? And I think that's the best one, because it's like, damn, you think he ain't shit? Like, no doubt. I actually sat down with Reggie Gilliam a couple weeks ago. Good dude. I think military family.
He's a great dude.
Great guy. I sat down with Khalil Shakir last week.
Every time I pull up on Gilly, he's like, "Yo, when do you want me? I'll come on." Mm-hmm. And you know who I would love for you to get on? Cam Lewis, bro.
Great dude. I love
Cam.
I don't think I've sat down with him yet. We'll see whether make that work. I'm trying to see if I can sit down with a coach. First, I saw somebody say James Cook. Respectfully, if I could get James Cook, if James Cook could say more than 17 words in a sentence, I would do it. It's not like I can't talk to James Cook. It's just that, like, he a real chill dude, and I don't know if that interview would take 45 seconds.
You think you can get Ken Dorsey?
See, y'all about to get me in trouble. Y'all have a good night, man.
Listen, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, my man Carl Jones, hit him up, follow, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you on the flip side, man. My G, we'll talk to you soon, brother.
Ken Dorsey, that's crazy. Y'all have a good one. Be blessed.
All right, man. That's my guy, Carl Jones. If you guys appreciate this type of content and you guys like when I bring on my man Carl Jones, do me a favor, hit him up, show him some love. Spencer Brown will be a good one. Spencer Brown seems like he'd be a decent. Ray Davis will be a good one too. So if you guys listen, follow my man Carl Jones now and say, "Yo, I saw you on the Rico Report show. Tag me on that hashtag Rico Report and say, yo, you should interview this player," and tell him all the players, because he has pretty much anybody he wants to get to sit down with him. He can't. Josh Allen's obviously off limits because my man's big time. I mean, he's that dude. He's that dude, man. Not that dude. He's that dude. Anyway, we'll go from there. So before I get out of here, I got to read some super chats, and then I gotta get out of here because I gotta have an early morning. So here we go. Signified knows, my G. Signified says, "Yo, Rico, why do you think I hate these people? They're animals." He's talking about Ravens fans, by the way. He said they're animals. It's not just because I live in Maryland, and then there's the Ryan Clark of the world, bro. Ryan Clark really pissed me off this week, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like Ryan Clark. I mean, and I will listen to the pivot. I will listen to him when he's on ESPN because he's a smart cat and he does have great insight. But there's sometimes where, when you're feeling yourself, you start to say some wild stuff. And my brother's been saying some wild stuff, bro. So you know what I mean? And he's feeling it. They're getting on his ass. They get on Emmanuel Acho's ass. They get on Ryan Clark's ass. Sometimes y'all give it to Orlovsky, but Orlovsky has some solid takes, but he's not as out there. You mean like your Ryan Clark's and your Emmanuel Acho's of the world, and Keyshawn Johnson, that boy foolish. And now that he doesn't have the Ravens to hang off of, and now he's like, man, how they gonna beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Well, who they got? Yo, be quiet, bro. Be quiet. Anyway, Signify knows I feel you, bro. I feel. He says Ravens fans are animals, man. Don't trust them. Quinn Peters, what up, Quinn? Yo, big fan, Rico. Do you think we get Coop going versus KC? That is something I would love to see. Y'all been hearing me now. For the last 5 weeks, I've been saying, yo, what's up with Coop? I need more from Coop. Well, I got excited when he got 14 targets. 14 targets in that Rams game. But ever since they gave him that 14 targets, it's like they turned it off. Yo, 14 targets, you caught 6 balls, not good enough. I don't get it. I don't know. I really don't know, but we'll see. But I'd love for Amari Cooper to get going, because I'll tell you right now, when it comes to by the time the season's done, when we win the Super Bowl, because I'm putting it out there in the universe, positivity. When we win the Super Bowl, he will get his ring, and he'll do what he needs to do. Now the question is, does he return, and does he have a full offseason with Josh, and does it work out, or is it just it's just not working out the way we think it's going to work out, right? Is he going to be? Are we Bills going to be the Toronto Raptors from a few years ago with Kawhi Leonard? Is he our Kawhi Leonard, and we win it? And you know what I mean? We're sitting here with a big championship under our belts. I don't know. I have no idea. But I just need more from Amari. I need more from him, and I just don't know if he's lost a step. Josh doesn't trust him. I don't know. I don't even think it's a trust thing, because if he's open, he's gonna go to him. But it just feels like to me, if I'm gonna be really honest, I just feel that Josh, he doesn't have the step that we thought he did. That's just what it looks like to me. I think that's what it is. I mean, because there's no reason for it. There's absolutely no reason for it. It makes no sense to me. All right. We got to, oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. For those that are listening on podcast form, my man Jeff B just became a YouTube member. I appreciate you, Jeff B. You know I do. Every year you come through and you bless us, so I appreciate you, G. Love it, love it, love it. If you guys are trying to join and become a member, it's simple. www.supportbf.com. Go ahead and get on that. It's love. Appreciate you. We want to grow the channel, man. It would be swell. It would be absolutely swell for us to gain 30,000 subscribers before we get to the Super Bowl. And I'm saying Super Bowl because I'm putting it out there. One more game. Kansas City Chiefs, one more game. Let's get to 30,000, man. We're at 29,200. You know what I mean? We need 800 plus more. 800 plus more subscribers. So tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell everybody, man. Let's go. James Payne with a super chat. Appreciate you, James. James comes in and says, those ex-jocks on sports debate shows won't admit that they're wrong. They fear losing their cushy cash cow jobs, no integrity. It's sometimes it's like, I understand how hard it is, right? Because think about it. You're on this thing every day. You got to come up with new topics. I'm sure the producers are coming up with topics for them to hit. Touch on this, do this, talk on that. And so I get the gig, but you do it every day. You've done enough research. You've played the game. So you have a little bit more insight in terms of what you see on film, et cetera, et cetera. But there comes a time where you're like, all right, hold on. I got to, you know what I mean? Play the game by showing some fan base some love. You can't alienate a fan base, but I also understand being the heel, being the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like Nick Wright. Nick Wright does it extremely well, but Nick Wright, when he's as obnoxious as he can be as a analyst / Chiefs fan on top of it, he's usually on the money. He's usually on the money. And he does things to irritate you, but it's in jest. It's comical because he's just doing it on purpose to get under the skin. Ryan Clark and the others, they have a little bit of a bravado in them. They're the former athlete, right? The Shannon Sharps of the world. Like when you've played the game, when you played at a high level, and you've always been the best at what you do, you kind of bring it into the booth, if you will. And you're not on the football field, but you bring that passion and that energy to the booth. But sometimes it doesn't translate. So there's got to be a fine line between, bring that competitiveness, fire, and do your research and coming in with a little humility at the same time. But I get the game. It's entertainment. It's entertainment at the end of the day. So they got to entertain. They got to get people tuning in. That's the key. ESPN is loving this, bro. They hate you, and we love it. Keep it up. So it is what it is, man. You got thick skin to be that. But don't forget, these guys have other podcasts that they do on the side, so they can't go too hard because they got to get the guests to come on the podcast. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I hope I answered that question well. GQ Bob, my guy, GQ Bob comes in. This week's bulletin board material: the Bills cannot beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Absolutely, they already know it. It's already set, right? Only in the regular season. 0-3 versus Chiefs. The Bills team will be very motivated going into Arrowhead. You're absolutely right. and as they should be, right? We can play. Like let's keep it a buck here. We have built this team to be able to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. We have the quarterback that can go blow for blow with him. We know that. We just never had enough talent offensively to go blow for blow. Then we bring in Diggs, then we bring in all these players, but we just couldn't get over the hump. So now we're like, what do? All right, let's just give Josh the right pieces for this team for him to have success. That way you don't have to force feed, and it's been working wonderfully. This is where we got to put the nail in the coffin, right? Could you do it all season? You did it. You're probably not going to get past the first round because this Denver pass rush is amazing. And this rookie Bo Nix is going to light the world up. Beat down, belt to ass, send them packing, get them back to Colorado. Here come the Ravens, the big bad Ravens out of Baltimore, right? Big fun in Baltimore, right? If you guys know what that comes from, you know what it is. If you know, you know. Big fun in Baltimore. Baltimore Ravens come to town, and they're expected to put belt to ass to us and send us packing. Again, in the divisional round, we stand up against them and shut it down, and we are now moving on to the next. It doesn't matter if you win by 65 or by 1. Point is, you won. And now, here's another storyline. Going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Do they have what it takes to get over the hump? Will they go 0-4 against the Kansas City Chiefs? Does Pat Mahomes own Josh Allen and these Bills? Can they get it done? Is this team built enough to get it done? Are they healthy enough to get it done? Josh Allen has the chance to lead this team. The first quarterback since Jim Kelly to lead this team and get him to the Super Bowl. Can he get it done? Man, those storylines are going to be insane. Let's get it done. There's no talking, man. Let's get it done. Have a great game plan for these boys, and let's get it done. It's chess. The chess match between McDermott and Harbaugh, McDermott played well. He was knocking them things over. Give me that pawn. Give me this. Give me that rook. Give me all that. Now there's another chess match you're going to play a grandmaster. You're about to play a grandmaster chess player in Andy Reid. And he's got all these good pieces, these rooks of experience, right? The queen. You know what I mean? You got all that. You got the knight. You got all that stuff. Yo, you gotta come in with your A game. Your first move's got to be a great move. And then it sets you up. Nothing worse if you're a chess player, if you played chess before, your first move is just a BS move. Every move has got to be calculated. You can't just do a move just to do a move. Do a move so you can set up your next move. And that's what McDermott's got to come in. You're playing a grandmaster. So you got to come in and set up and kill it. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see how it goes. GQ Bob comes back with another super chat. The Chiefs gameplay will be stack the box to stop the run and play press man. We will definitely need our receivers and tight ends to step up. They will make Josh Allen try to beat them by throwing. And we know Josh Allen can. The question is, who the heck is going to step up? McDermott knows that this team is going to come playing. Spags knows them, but we also know what Spags is going to do. Joe Brady, this is where Joe Brady has to have the game of his lifetime. That third quarter that you possess, I left him off my hate list. You know what I mean? Because it was a third quarter, but I hated that third quarter. You had an opportunity to double dip and you put up some bullshit on the screen. Bro, we can't have that. We absolutely can't have that. So GQ Bob, I appreciate this super chat. And I'm telling you right now, they will press us. 100% they're going to press us. Chris Jones is going to be a freaking menace. Nick Bolton's going to be a freaking menace. They got a good squad. And the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They know what's at stake. They have an opportunity to become three-time champs. 3-time champs. So it is up to us to spoil that and now create something for ourselves. I think it's time. I think we earned it, damn it. But you got to play the game. You got to play the game to win the game. You know what I mean? Last but not least, I got a super chat coming from my man, Jesse Snow. What up, Jess? He goes, yo, could you please share any injury insights from the thigh doc? I absolutely can. Give me a second here. Let me get my ex because he was sharing some things. So I know my man, Christian Benford. I won't talk about it. I'll just go to it. So Christian Bedford was dealing with something real quick. And let me just jump in here real quick. Your wish is my command, Mr. Jesse Snow. Give me one moment. Here I am saying that I was going to get out of here real quick, and here I am. I'm out here with my peeps. All right, let me see if you guys can see my screen. Boom, there's the screen. So coming from my guy, the thigh doc. Let's go to Thigh Doc's latest and go from there. So 6 hours ago, he says, I saw a crazy stat yesterday on ESPN that could not believe. Last 4 years. Okay, we already get that part. We good. Let's go to the oh shoot. Let the boys go. Look at my man Z-Bot, man. Z-Bot's just, I don't know what that brother's doing, but he's in it. I'm vibing. And my man jumping around and looking. I don't know where he's looking at, but all this. He I don't know what he's pointing at. He's just love it. Yeah, love it. That's why these victory dances are perfect, man. We perfect for that. We're gonna get another one. We gotta get another one. Here we go. Benford. So he was here's a video of Benford. Let me see if I can play that for you guys. If you guys can see it. So Benford, let me see where he's at. Where's Benford? Okay, there's Benford right here. So this is on kickoff, and he's looking at the ear shot stinger / shoulder right in here. All right, so that's what you're looking at here. Am I looking at the right here? Yeah, that's it. Benford right there. Bang. So that's what you're looking at. Or is it here? Is that Benford right there? I think this is Benford. I'm trying to get a number. This might be Benford. Anyway, so what my man is saying, the ear hole shot. So I think Christian Benford's in the middle. So I think he's down here. So the ear hole shot on the onside kick, it didn't look like much, but he says in protocol. Usually tough to get back in a week, but as what he says is, as we saw with Ray Davis, it happens to be speed in the play. It speeds up in the playoffs. So we need him to be limited on Wednesday. So if he's limited on Wednesday, then we'll be fine. So this is Benford here. So him getting the ear shot, kind of, and that's on the last play, right? So he got blasted pretty good. So we'll see how that all plays out with Benford. I can't see it taking him out too long. I think he'll be back, and we'll go from there. Let's scroll on down to see what else my man Thadoc was talking about. Ray Davis, I love that Ray Davis came back from his injury, and we'll go from there. His head injury. Let me see what else did my man have to say. We're gonna have to just wait for the next. We're just gonna have to wait for the next article that he puts out. Really, you know what? I might even just get him in on Friday. So Friday, be ready for us to get him back on the show. But right now, I mean, we're pretty decent based on what he was talking about. So that right there was what kind of caused us some issues. Let me see if he's got anything else out here from the thigh doc. Taylor Rapp. So Taylor Rapp with the hip. So what are you saying with Taylor Rapp with the hip? If you read what he says, his foot got stuck and the hip jammed. So it's a joint issue. Or it's Hamlin's knee that smashed into his glute muscle. So maybe it's just a little contusion, right? He finished the series, but then got carted off. So if you look at what's going on here. So let's get the replay here. So there's Taylor, there's Hamlin, there's Rapp right here. So his foot gets jammed and gets the hip injury, but then maybe it's the knee of Hamlin that hits him right in that top of the hip / butt area. So maybe it's the knee that did it, bruised. And he was able to play the series, but that was it. So it's a violent sport, man. It's a violent sport. You can see him get up. It's a really violent sport. And everybody's going a mile a minute. So there he is right now. He's like, shoot, man, I got hit real good. So what the F? And sometimes when you get hurt, you're like, yo, what is going on? So that's where we're at. Let me see. Milano. There was an issue with Milano, apparently. So my man Thigh Doc says possibly aggravated banged right knee, the surgical knee from 2023. The last play of the game for him stood on the sideline. Precautionary or not, still concerning. We need everybody that we can get on this field. So right now you can see the knee hit right there. You see that? So that's where it's like, eesh, that's hurt. Like, so watch that knee. If he brings it, it was like a knee on knee. So we'll see how that all shakes out. But so Milano's a little banged up. And I think that's about it. That's about it. So, I mean, those are major dogs. Those are major dogs on the squad. So I think that they'll be just fine. They just got to get time to heal up and get ready for these boys. We got to get going. So that being said, that's the Jesse Snow. I appreciate you. That's what we get in terms of the injury. So Taylor Rapp, I think we get Taylor Rapp back. I think that Matt Milano, I think, is precautionary, little banged up knee, so he'll be all right. We need him. And last but not least, Christian Benford, that ear shot. maybe a stinger, maybe a little shoulder injury. And then there's Taron Johnson when he slipped and got that shoulder. So maybe he'll be back. He'll be back and ready to go because he came back in the game. So we got nicks and bruises, but that's the nature of the game. We get hit, we climb back up, we get going, and we keep it rolling, man. So that's it for me, folks. An hour and a half in the books. Appreciate y'all. If you want to do me a favor, smash that like on your way out of the room. And if you have not, I don't know how many of you guys have done it. It would make me very happy if you guys do me a favor and jump on and get yourself a fat head. That fat head, you know what time it is, man. That fat head, that's that sticker that sticks onto your let me see where it's at here. Let me get my thing here. That sticks onto your thing here, right? That little sticker that goes onto your wall, your bedroom, wherever you want it. You want to have it in the bathroom. You want to size up every time you leave the house. You want to see, you know what? I'm as big as Josh Allen. All right, I'm ready to go. So wherever you want to have it, even if you want it for your child, your daughter, your son, this is your opportunity. Use the code BuffFanatics15 and you'll get 15% off courtesy of Buffalo Fanatics. So go ahead at fathead.com. And once you check out, use that promo code. Don't forget to use that code. Get yourself 15% off and we'll go from there. So that being said, folks, that's my time. If you guys enjoyed the show, y'all know what to do. Subscribe to the channel if you want to get notified for when myself, Z-Bot, or the Buffalo Fanatics channel is ready to go on. Y'all know what to do, man. Hit that notification bell. You will be prompt and notified when we go live. And that is my time. So yeah, that's it. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. You guys have a great evening, and we'll catch you guys back again.
Buffalo Fanatics.
We'll be talking way more about this Kansas
It's Don Brown.
Oh boy. I'm soon enough.
I'm a fanatic.
Catch you guys on the flip side. Before we go, catch you
Play
guys.
good, be humble. Number 17, the captain. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Hey, I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Just like Rico, going live, talking to my people. Cause the team's driven like West Hurt. Other teams can't, it's a repo. The opponents gotta call up Triple O. Bills Mafia, we heating up. We too electrical. We got Bean the Plug, electric show. We wired up, hit up Rico, he fired up. We know where we stand on a power ranking. Other teams fans in the comments hating. We block them all. We protecting Josh. Salute to him, he the general now. Rico got legends for interviews. How the Buffalo Bills got the best fan base. Away games, red, white, blue in the crowd. Hey, I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Play good, be humble. Number 17, the captain. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Hey, I'm a Buffalo fanatic.